Hi, welcome to another video in this series. Last video that you've seen, the series should have been the digital forensic techniques, and now we're going to take a look at some certificate management. I'm actually going to do it in this video, and I'm also going to do it in another video as well, just to really pat down the foundation of certificate management in general, right? So for our first exercise, we're actually going to install and configure some Active Directory certificate services. So just to go over really quickly the public key infrastructure, or the PKI, right? So it's just a framework for managing policies and the creation, distribution, management of digital certificates. So this uses secure electronic transfer of information between devices in a public network like the internet, and used extensively in e-commerce transactions and things of that nature. So what we're going to do to get started is install Active Directory root service certificate. So we're actually going to start here. We're going to add some roles and features. Right, so take a look here. Everything looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty good. All right, okay. All right. Now, let's see. There we go. Add these features, of course. All right, let's see. All right, that looks good. Fine. Yeah, that's okay. That looks good so far. Certificate authority is good. All right, and then this one here, features here. All right. All right, perfect. Oh, excuse me. All right, perfect. So it's going to hit here. All right, right through here. Okay, that looks good so far. All right, so we can actually install. All right, perfect. All right, so we'll take a few minutes till I'll just put you guys on the other side of that. All right, so the install has become successful. So I'm just going to close this out. And now I'm just going to configure Active Directory certificate services. So now after the install, right, so the certificate services along with the online responder, if you remember the configuration settings, for this server, DC01, we have to set up the services with the appropriate settings, right? So this just going to enable the services to perform the intended roles we like. So just going to take a look at configuring this here. All right, perfect. So actually pull this up a bit better. All right, perfect. So we're the administrator, so online responder, and of course certificate authority. Wait for it a bit. I can click it. There it is. All right, perfect. All right, enterprise. That's good. CA. This is good. All right, perfect. Now, let's see. If you want to create a new one, yep, that's fine. All right, perfect. Now, for the cryptography page, you want to keep the default settings. That's actually looks pretty okay. All right, so, all right, we're good here. All right, perfect. Let's see. So we keep that default 5 years. Okay. All right, this is good as well. All right. I'm just going to read through the summary here really quick. Just make sure all the default settings are there. All right. All right, perfect. All right, now we're closed. Now we're back on the server manager. Now we need to verify the ADCS is working. So now we're just going to head to the certification authority, if I can speak. All right, so just to verify here, I'm going to expand this. And a green check mark, it just indicates the service has successfully started, right? So it's just going to minimize this, right? And this as well. So now we can install the subordinate CA. So just going to work along the root CA, right, which is not supposed to lease certificates to the device and user. So the subordinate CA is just going to take over this job, so we can use the lease and configure certificates. So to get started, let's install the subordinate. So let's actually swivel over here, the roles and features, right? Pretty much very similar concept to what we did before, right? So role based is fine. All right, this we can keep the default, right? And then we actually want to add, like we did before, right? Certificate services. All right, perfect. Yep. We add the features. All right, then let's see. That's good. That's good. Online responder. Of course. Next. Next. Right. Next. Right. Then install. All right. Perfect. Should be done in just a few moments. All right, so the install has successfully completed. All right, we can actually refresh that there. All right, and we can actually do what we did before here to make sure that it's actually forgot about this part. All right, making sure it's of course, excuse me. Seconds here to wait. There it is. And boom, enterprise, that's good. Subordinate, yes. All right, subordinate, yep, yes it is. All right, and we want to create a new private key. That's cool. All right, and we're going to change this actually to 4. Then next, next, next figure. All right, perfect. Okay. Let's see. All right, perfect. So now we're just going to, because it says, let's see, next, let me refresh one more time. Okay. All right, so let's actually take a look at the configuration settings here. Should be, all right, let's fix this. All right, so I had to briefly start it over. Once I get over a bit overzealous, when I'm somewhat comfortable in doing something, I can go a bit fast. And in doing so, I overlook a few nuanced or small details that could pretty much throw everything off track. So I went back in with a fine tooth comb to see exactly where I went off track. And it was to make sure that I send a certificate request to the parent certificate authority to make sure that everything works properly, right? So I selected the sending a certificate request. I had the certificate authority name, which I have to pass here for the parent certificate authority. So, and everything else I can just keep as is. And this looks pretty good. All right. Let's see. This looks, oh, yeah, this looks pretty okay. Just gonna configure. All right, that was closer, well, quicker than I thought it would be. All right, perfect. So now redirect it back to the server manager console. So I'm just gonna actually click refresh here. make sure everything is working properly. So I'll notice that it should be, yeah, those red indicators. We don't want that. So let's see it again. Okay, let's see. There it is. All right, perfect. All right, these look so far so good. There is some additional configuration that can take place, but we're not going to do that, at least right now for purposes of this video. So now we're just going to configure some certificate revocation lists. All right, so we're going to first request user certificate. And to do this, I'm actually going to need to swivel over to this server here. All right, so now I'm just going to open up the search here. All right, just run this command. Of course, yeah. Of course, that'll really happen. Certificates, I want to add my user course. All right. All right, so now we have certificates for the current user being added, so we can actually exit out of here. And let's see, let's actually expand it. All right, then we can select personal. Actually, right. Fine. All right, perfect. So we can actually click the properties. All right, perfect. So let's come up with a name. Let's see. Before I do that, all right. So now we're looking at servers that can issue certificates to the user. Right. So I'm actually going to deselect. Let's see which one is good. I'm going to deselect this one. I'm just going to leave DM here. All right. Perfect. So we're good there. And then I'm going to hit here. All right. Finish. That happened a lot quicker than I thought. All right. So now we see that it has been issued to the, should have been another name for this user. Let's see. I was going to see if I can change the name, but yeah, it doesn't look like. Yeah, doesn't look like I'll be able to change it, but it should be a different name here. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, names are names as long as we understand the concepts, right? So now I'm going to verify the issue certificate. So that, remember during the certificate enrollment that I just done, I configured for the Windows OS to enroll with the DM1 server. And now I'm going to switch actually back to that server, right? And then I'm going to the certificate authority. Then let's expand this. So this is the one I just created, right? So I couldn't remember, not sure if I caught it early in this video, but as I was clicking through these here, there was nothing there. So now that I've issued a certificate on the Windows server here, that that now it shows, right? Now I'm just gonna click this here. Actually, you know what? Should be another. See, there it is. All right, perfect. So now we're at certificate revocation. right? So now I'm just going to do key compromise, then hit yes. All right, perfect. So now we see that the certificate disappears from the issued certificates folder. So now I could click here, and of course, naturally, that'll showcase here in the revoke certificate. So I'm actually going to right click here, and then actually refresh. What? Actually, there it is. All right, perfect. So now in the publish, I'm just going to make sure there's a new CRL, which contains the up-to-date revocation information for the certificate authority. Just going to click OK. And then also going to do this here. Take a look at the properties. So in the dialog box, we see it for the CRL publishing parameters, right? It just displays the publication interval for the new CRL and the Delta CRLs, right? So which is a recent update for the revoked certificate, right? So now just going to take a look here. And now this tab just displays the publication status of the CRLs, right? So you can see the key index, the effective date, the expiration date, which is 8 days, right? Beyond the effective date. So I'm just going to keep this sort of open. Now I'm just going to configure a new path for CRL. So now actually, let's see here. So let's go here. Take a look at the properties. All right. All right, perfect. So now let's take a look at the extensions, right? And then we're going to hit add. And see. All right, perfect. And insert. Perfect. Everything looks good. Let's take a look at the description here. If there's the name. All right, so we're good. We're good there. Here, so we're good. All right, still just gonna hit apply to make sure the changes are good. Stopping, starting. All right, perfect. So now that we applied those changes, now we're gonna add certificate managers. I configure this all needs to go to the, where is that? Okay, actually, let's see where it is. Oh wow, restrict those. So by selecting this option, the restrict certificate managers, I'll be restricting aspects of AD certificate services administration to domain admins, right, and private admin groups in this particular domain. So that'll be the end of this video as far as certificate management. Again, I'll do another video in the part 2 of this particular series for certificate management. Just for a brief recap of everything we've done in this video, we've done 2 exercises for installing and configuring Active Directory certificate services and also configuring certificate revocation. And within those exercises, we did a few tasks. We configured the Active Directory certificate services, configured the subordinate certificate authority, so on and so forth, configure a new path for CRLs as well. And this will be actually the video before the final video, which will be frameworks, controls, and policies and procedures. I'll see you there.